By some giat, Sidamana, Lachlte, Coast Salish, Musqueam, Squamish, and Sewa. Doyachsen Nism Lamai, Lachon, will look dacht from the Achas Katzamar, the Sech, Kanach, the others say, look, I've just acknowledged the tradition of the owners of the land. We thank you for the opportunity. Our health, it was right at the outset, it was known as a health board, but in all the transitions, we became a health authority. Yesterday, you noticed when our people processioned into the forefront here, that the women were holding their hands high. We are holding our hands high to our past leaders. We owe them a great deal. We are indebted to them. There's a saying in our language that we are only traveling on the road that they've painstakingly paved for us. And that we will never, ever forget. In all our doings, we try to emulate their vision, their determination. It makes it much easier for us to travel on the road that they've built for us. In the beginning, there was virtually no health provisions on our lands after contact. Today, we have culturally relevant programs which we provide on a daily basis. Over the next 30 minutes, we will have an outline on DVD, our Nisga'a Valley Health Authority governance structure. It will identify how politics and governance is separated deliberately. We will try to showcase how our culture is integrated into health. We will outline the health programs and services that we offer to our people and other First Nations people that are on our land, and as well the non-natives on our land. We are all inclusive. To begin, I mentioned a few minutes ago, in 1984, our health board was established under the Societies Act in British Columbia. In 1990, the programs and services was transferred from DIAND. And in the year 2000, the modern treaty, the Nisga'a Treaty, delegated the authority of health care services to Nisga'a Valley Health Authority. And as of this year, the Nisga'a Community Engagement Hub is ensuring that the Nisga'a citizens, from the grassroots to leadership, has input into enhancing the healthcare services to the future. As I said in my bio, we are past, present, and future oriented. We only try to emulate our past leaders who we've recognized, and you as well have recognized, they were doctorates in their own fields: medicine, teachers, leaders. They had no laws governing them, and yet they lived a life that was fully self-autonomic, I guess you might say. We not only admire them, the past, we try to emulate them. After all, they're the very learned people that we have. We had no health centers in those days. There were no jails, there were no hospitals, no judges, there were no experts, but we had empathic listeners. They led. They did not govern. They led by example. And we've, on this health authority, have stuck to our guns in saying we give credit where credit is due. I think we will now proceed with the DVD.
Good morning. The DVD is coming, and we'll be starting with the PowerPoint presentation. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Corinne McKay. My title is Director of Programs for Nisga'a Valley Health. So the Nisga'a Valley Health is funded through a fiscal financing agreement that is with the federal, provincial, and Nisga'a government. Medical services premiums are paid directly by Nisga'a government, and the treaty defines which health services will be provided. We have physician treatment services, public health, in-home care, and BC ambulance services. As our chairman of the board mentioned, Nisga'a Valley Health was incorporated in 1984 as a health services society, and our governance is comprised of 7 directors. We have someone from Nisga'a government who is appointed, and in our case, that's our chairman of the board, James Moore. We have directors from each of our villages, Giwinsil, Glachgalzap, Gitlakdamix, and Kincolith, and we have 1 director-at-large position. We have 72 staff members and 6 physicians that work under a health services contract with our organization. Nisga'a Valley Health provides services under our health services contract, and we provide services to the residents of the Nass Valley and non-insured health benefits for Nisga'a citizens, regardless of where they live. And citizenship information is provided to us by Nisga'a government. These are our Nisga'a citizens. We have just about 7,000. We had a recent power outage, so we're optimistic that's going to go up. And we have a little over 2,000 people living in the Nass Valley, and a good number of people living in Prince Rupert and Terrace. We provide non-insured health benefits. Our staff oversee the programs for medical supplies and equipment, vision, patient transportation, crisis intervention counseling, BC ambulance invoices. We pay for BC ambulance invoices, and we're trying to recruit paramedics so that we can have ambulance service out of our Nass Valley, and babies first fill. This is our organizational chart, and I had some transitions built in here, so those are the departments that are overseen by the CEO. The staffing of the non-insured department is down below. We have our own people taking care of our own people through the non-insured health benefits program, and you'll see why we have a department set up for this program. We have a contract with Great West Life for dental. We provide coverage at 100%. We have Great West Life cards that are provided to our Nisga'a citizens, and pharmaceuticals are covered by a formulary that we work with Great West Life to approve, and it's basically the same national formulary that everyone else is using. And this contract was awarded to Great West Life in 1998 when a bid was put out there for pharmaceuticals and dental services. We have an exceptions committee that is comprised of our CEO, Julie Adams, our chief physician, our director of nursing, Donna Moore, director of programs, that's me, and our non-insured health benefits manager, who is Denise Eli. We review requests for which no coverage is provided under our current policy, and the benefits is that we can be more responsive to client needs. One example is we have a citizen who lives in Chilliwack, and well, we have two citizens. One is in the hospital. He's a palliative care client, and the wife was using her pension to go to see her husband every day to take care of him. We reviewed this as a committee, and we decided to authorize patient travel, so we cover her travel to and from the hospital on a daily basis. This is our medical bus data, and all you need to look at is just that the most recent data, the green column, is increasing every year. And this information is on the medical bus program. As fuel prices increased, it was challenging to provide reliable and consistent transportation for clients. Nisga'a Valley Health made the investment in a 16-seat bus for service to all Nass Valley communities to travel to the nearby city of Terrace. Utilization increased 20% in the second year of operation. So a new bus was purchased with increased seating capacity from 16 to 25, and it includes 2 wheelchair accessible seats. Our challenges are the same challenges that Health Canada has, software program upgrades with the medical transportation systems, our claims record systems, medical supplies and equipment, and our vision program. We are exploring options, and just like everyone else, we haven't arrived when it comes to software, but we're working on it. The advantages. We have monthly meetings to address issues as a team, to identify efficiencies. For example, we have direct deposits to client bank accounts for patient travel expenses and reimbursements. With the medical bus, we have fewer financial transactions. We have, for example, we don't have to pay 16 drivers to go and take clients to Terrace to drive their family members in. We cover the medical bus expenses. We have dialysis clients that can remain at home, and we have daily pickup of prescription drugs and a toll-free line for after-hours calls. Our opportunities, we're currently renovating to fill 3 positions for a new pharmacy that's scheduled to open late spring. We're looking at a wheelchair-accessible home to meet current demand for respite care for elders, and a house for home care services, assisted living for the Nass Valley, and a life skills programs for clients living with dual diagnosis and schizophrenia. We're also looking at establishing a health foundation because we do get contributions from our traditional feasts, We're looking at opportunities for upgrading our medical equipment, expanded services, support oncology services, and we're also looking at charitable status. That's our non-insured health benefits team. We ran away one afternoon on a boat ride. We didn't tell our boss till we came back. And in conclusion, before we go on to the DVD, our Nisga'a Valley Health staff are always busy and many days are challenging, but the beauty of having our own program is that we can be responsive in a compassionate and respectful way to the needs of our citizens. Thank you.
Mahiluk, everyone. It's an absolute pleasure to be with you today. My Nisga'a name is Gilam Tsatagi, which means don't forget me now. And it's because I lived at the time in Coast Salish territories. Now I'm back in the Nisga'a. And as we look through the DVD, one of the purposes of the DVD is really to transfer that knowledge onto the younger generations, really about the richness of the leadership and the elders of the past and their continued influence in our decisions today. The DVD as well is narrated by Simoret Lek, which is Dr. Joseph Gosnell, and Simsuk Nita Morvan. Following the closing remarks from the CEO and the close of the DVD, our CEO Sigadam Nak Saitsuin. The managers will be giving each of you a gift. We have put the Nisga'a ethics on a bookmark, and we would like you to take that home with you. We are very grateful as well for the rich dialogue we are having in our nation regarding health. Thank you.
In 1949, I left residential school and moved back to the community of Untitled. There were 2 Salvation Army officers stationed there, and they were the only ones that provided an absolute minimal provisions for health. They were basically dispensers of aspirin and 222 tablets. 222 tablets was the strongest pills that could be provided to our people at that time. There was absolutely no health provisions available anywhere, in any one of our communities, nothing. Absolutely nothing. If a person got seriously ill, he or she had one of 2 things. Either the person got better or the person died. It was as simple as that. There was nothing available to the Nisga'a in terms of health provisions, absolutely nothing. In very serious situations, a telephone call would be made and a special flight would be okayed by the Department of Indian Affairs to pick up a patient. But that rarely happened, especially in the winter months, when travel was very, very difficult.
The vision of the Nisga'a Valley Health Authority is Saks Kumkandadils, meaning healthy bodies, healthy minds, and healthy spirits. Our philosophy is to work collaboratively to integrate Western practices into Nisga'a culture and traditions. This will enable us to deliver more effectively health programs and services that meet the needs of all clients who live in Ali Aksum Lisms, the Nass Valley.
In the very early days, our people gave instructions to the tribal council executives that if our people were going to survive in the foreseeable future, we as a nation had to take over health provisions for the Nisga'a people. We had to take control of the schooling of our children and create schools in our communities. Two of the most important issues that came up year after year during the many conventions of the Tribal Council. Sometime in the early 1980s, there was a resolution passed by the people during the Nisga'a Tribal Council convention in Kincolith, and they asked that the executive board begin the discussions to create what we know today as the Nisga'a Valley Health Authority. And it took many, many years to eventually get this idea up and running. At the same time as discussions for health was going on, there was also discussions with respect to the education of our children, taking over the responsibility that rested with the Department of Indian Affairs for the education of our children. And eventually, as we all know, School District 92 Nisga'a was created. And that stemmed from the early discussions of our nation coming together to provide instructions to the Nisga'a Tribal Council on what they deemed extremely important and absolutely necessary for the survival of our people, in terms of educating our children, in terms of providing health provisions for our people.
Our partners, with whom we share a collective knowledge and wisdom, are the health practitioners, the Council of Elders, Nisga'a Lisms government, the village governments, other funding agencies, and neighbors. As healthcare providers, our goal is excellence in governance and Aboriginal health in the North. Our mission is to improve health through health promotion, quality service delivery, and education and research. We will achieve our goals by providing quality, culturally relevant services founded in Nisga'a traditions and culture that treat illnesses, and we will assist individuals, families, communities in pursuing and maintaining good health. Fostering and promoting respect in our organization and nation. Respecting and valuing each individual's contribution to the Nisga'a community. Promoting traditional and cultural approaches to health and community education. Delivering health services and programs that serve the communities and meet the needs of individuals, families, and groups. Engaging in clinical, social, economic, and cultural initiatives that promote the health of Nisga'a citizens and peoples of all cultures. The foundational strengths and assets of the Nisga'a Valley Health Authority include 1. Nisga'a knowledge and culture. This means collecting and sharing traditional knowledge from our hereditary leaders and elders that upholds the vision of health, which integrates traditional Nisga'a healing practices with current health practices. For example, Nisga'a elders have shared that we have our own healing methods that cures breast cancer. The primary property in one of the healing methods is iodine. There is evidence, the elders say, that our healing practices are effective. That is, when x-rays were first administered to our people at the Miller Bay Hospital, Doctors noted cancer scar tissue indicating breast cancer that was cured. Research also indicates in the mainstream today, which links breast cancer to iodine deficiency. Another example of integrating traditional knowledge has to do with the spiritual component of Nisga'a healing in times of grief. When a person has died of natural causes or in tragic circumstances, our people believe that bad luck is upon us. This means a weakening of the spirit, making us vulnerable to the negative energy or spirit. One of the ways that we deal with this in times of death is to ensure that we show respect for the spirit that has passed over to the other side. One of the practices requires the involvement of our Wilksalaks, the paternal relatives, who are called upon to carry out the burning ritual of all clothing and other personal belongings of the deceased. This is only one of the ways that we ensure balance is maintained between worlds. Naturally, there is deeper spiritual significance in all of our healing rituals, but suffice it to say for now that maintaining a balance of mind, body, and spirit is a vital component to maintaining good health in all that we do. Another strength and asset of the Nisga'a Valley Health Authority entails a strong governance and administrative body that strives for excellence in all facets of medical, rehabilitative, and preventative care. Number 3, health resources in each of the communities. Number 4, visiting resources such as the psychologist, psychiatrist, podiatrist, and so on. Number 5, year-round promotion of life and health activities. We have also undertaken a new initiative entitled WILP, Home is Where the Healing Begins. The WILP project will help to restore the traditional Nisga'a house system as a resource for families to go to when dealing with anxiety and depression in their school-age children. We will work collaboratively with the Simgigat and Sigidamhanak to integrate the customs into the curriculum of 2 programs called Friends for Life and Strengthening Families to help support and identify young children and youth experiencing anxiety and depression. Here again, taking care of the spirit of the individual. Over this year, the Nisga'a Community Engagement Hub will facilitate a process where we will compile a nationwide asset mapping resource list, inclusive of each village government, Nisga'a Listens government programs and services, School District Number 92, Wilpul Ha'as Nisga'a, and the 3 urban Nisga'a societies and or communities in Prince Rupert, Terrace, and Vancouver. We will establish a relationship on the topic of health with each of the 7 communities. Engage the Nisga'a citizen in communication, collaboration, and planning, promotional health and life activities.
When the health facility here in Ayance was talked about, and eventually it was up and running, operated by qualified people in that day, and I'm sure the qualifications are getting better as the years roll by, and the provisions of health services certainly, in my view, is improving. But there's always room for improvement. One has to bear in mind that despite the treaty that we have today, we are still in the process of catching up to the rest of Canadian society, who take education literally for granted, who take the provisions of health services for granted because they have always had it. And our people were denied that for many, many, many years. Well, today those services are available to our people. And I imagine if the early executives were alive today, I can just see the look on their faces, and they would say to us, "Hoyach Wilson, Hoyach Wilson." They would provide encouragement, I believe, if they were here and witnessed what's happening in the health provisions of our nation, the education of our children. Today, the Nisga'a Valley Health Authority is located here in New Ianch. It is named to commemorate one of the efforts of the executives, namely my late brother James. It's Samuel James Gosnell Memorial Health Center today, recognizing that not only he, but the rest of the early executives and their efforts to improve the lives of our people, health-wise and education. Is there room for improvement? Absolutely. Unfortunately, the rest of the Aboriginal people in Canada are still living, and the services provided to them are still the same today as what our people received in the 1950s. Virtually very, very little or non-existent health and education provisions.
We put our hearts up to you, Great Spirit. We put our hearts up to you, Great Spirit, for all the blessings you have given us, for all the resources you have provided. That is why we have one spoon, one common bowl. We put our hearts up to you, Great Spirit. We put our hearts up to you, Great Spirit.
My name is Julia Adams. I'm the CEO for Nisga'a Valley Health. This video gets emotional because we've all watched what our people have experienced over the years. I would just like to touch on some of the experiences that we've had. Our accountability to our people, the Nisga'a people, is essential. We continue to evaluate, reevaluate, and make change if we need to. We work with our elders to implement the culture The Nisga'a people have a rich culture in every step of our lives from birth until we die. Being diligent with the business and our strategic plans. Today we have an all Nisga'a management team, and I would like to have them stand along with our politicians who are here representing our communities, including the locals, if they would stand, please. We are very grateful and thankful for our leaders who had a vision, and will continue to make those improvements for our people as we see the need. I'd like to thank you very much for giving us this opportunity to present our health plan for the Nisga'a people. Thank you.